Welcome back, everybody. It's EnemyGG versus Void Boys in our first game of the playoffs. Yes, finally, after a whole week of group stages, we finally grounded out, and we're finally into a place where someone's going home today. It's single elimination, best of three, and EnemyGG in a nice, cozy spot here. They're 5-1 in the group stages, so they get first crack at Void Boys, who are 3-3. They're still hanging in there, hanging tough. And we got a new caster here. I think she's making her debut in the Pro Dota Cup. This is Cygnus casting here, and we got Borno on stats. Welcome back, guys, and welcome aboard, Cygnus. How you doing?
Hello there, guys. It's really nice to meet you. I'll be doing a little bit of draft analysis and probably some little in-game stuff too. You can follow me on Twitter at Cygnus Casting, but it looks like we're actually going straight into the draft, so if it's alright with you, I'd like to start after Borno introduces himself.
He's the quiet.
He's the quiet.
Yeah, he's the quiet
right,
type. No. It's all good. But
no
yeah,
big deal.
But yeah, Lone Druid pretty much. His win rate's been okay. He's making a bit of a comeback in this tournament. He's climbing up towards 50% now. Enchantress has been just absolutely destroying this tournament. She's about 10 for 12 when she doesn't get banned. Oracle has been kind of hit and miss. He's actually making a bit of a comeback too, climbing up towards 50%. But I honestly think people are using him to fill a role meant for a Dazzle. Honestly, it's just okay. We'll get you, everybody in the chat knows I hate Oracle and the way they're playing him. Night Stalker, a surprising first ban, but Vengeful doing great in this tournament. #1 pick and a great win rate, around 3 out of 4. And Bat Rider will make it through. Nature's Prophet. Okay. Just kind of give you a little primer as to how this tournament's been going. The first Group A, Group B, Yves and I like to call it the dinner break group because the games were so fast we actually had time to eat dinner, and then things started to go towards NA Dota and things were getting a little more traditional, and we actually do have some NA Dota going here. So, all right, Vengeful, Bat, Nature, and Witch. What do you think?
Well, just to go back to the bans, Lone Druid is by far one of the most powerful heroes in the game right now, with his ability to force someone else to go into a different direction. Savage Roar is probably considered by most of the professional players one of the most overpowered skills in the game at the moment. Oracle, I know that you don't really like Oracle, but if you have a high skill player hero playing him, he is insanely powerful. The nuke that he puts out is once every 2.25 seconds, so EnemyGG just don't want to have to deal with that, especially with kind of agility and int-based heroes that they've already drafted for themselves, the Vengeful Spirit and the Bat Rider. And Juggernaut, also another very popular pick, and a very strong second phase ban as well. Vengeful Spirit, I mean, the great thing about Venge is that you never reveal too much about your draft when you pick her up, because she can be played as a core, she can be played as a support, and she also works with a lot of the popular kind of drafts that have been happening lately, such as like that heavy, 5-man death ball strategy, pushing down towers really quickly. She synergizes really well with like people like Bat Rider, with people like Beastmaster, Death Prophet, any sort of right clickers. So she's just like a really perfect pick right now. And I mean, she hasn't really been changed all that much. Her Eggs upgrade is nice, but like, I mean, we haven't really seen it come out all that often, at least so far what I've been casting in the CIS scene. If we go to the Bat Rider pickup, I love it. Initiation goes through BKB. BKB has been very important with a lot of spell damage base that we've seen with like lots of Death Prophets and that sort of thing. And then Void Boys have opted to pick up a Nature's Prophet and a Witch Doctor, which is I feel for me a little bit of an atypical opener, but maybe you know a little bit more about the PD Cup than I do. But I really like Nature's Prophet right now. He's super powerful. We've seen him played in a couple different ways. In the more traditional Necrobook sort of way, where he goes along with like a Beastmaster or whatever, and pushes down towers really quickly, or he can go for that sort of Octarine Core refresher thing that we've seen out of Admiral Bulldog. And he's a super strong offlaner, but if things go really terribly, he can fall back to the jungle and catch up. With the Witch Doctor, I really like his teamfight ability. There's a lot of physical damage, which, I mean, we get out of that Death Ward. On top of that, it looks like Void Boys are opted to pick up the Gyrocopter. Not the most interesting hero to play, but is a solid hero overall. He has a very strong lane presence with his flat cannon, offering up a lot of harassment in the lane. He can chase down and get some good ganks with his rocket barrage, and you can build him in a couple different ways. You can completely skip the homing missile if you wish, but we have seen some people maxing out the homing missile as well. But more traditionally, I think we see people go stats, and then we see maybe like a Sanjin Yasha build or the Helm of the Dominator, and he can, depending on like how the game's going, if he's ahead, he goes Sanjin Yasha. If he's behind, we see Helm of the Dominator, and then we see him like running Ancients and that sort of thing. The Void Boys have given themselves a lot of ability to play depending on how EnemyGG are going to be playing. So if EnemyGG are playing way too aggressively and they just can't deal with it, they do have a little bit of ability to pull back into their jungle and farm up, do some Ancients with the Gyrocopter, that sort of thing. EnemyGG, I think, are probably going to want to keep playing into this kind of aggressive style, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw maybe a Death Prophet come out in their draft. She's super powerful, and I did notice that, surprisingly, Invoker made it through into the second phase bans. I'm more surprised to not see him be like a first ban.
You know, I'm bummed. I'm really bummed. I really wanted to see a 747 Invoker. I think he got to use it once so far in the group stages against like E-Wolves and stuff. Not really able to do. He didn't get a chance to do much. Okay, so how are you feeling about a Death Prophet against, like, who are you thinking the Death Prophet for Void Boys or for Enemy?
For like draft wise, like so far right now.
Yeah, you were saying Death Prophet for somebody. Who are you thinking? Enemy? Or Void?
EnemyGG, if they want to go for like a death push sort of thing. But it looks like they're opting for the Queen of Pain, which I really like. It's good mobility. They're going to have a lot of initiation on EnemyGG. I mean, you have the swap, you have Lasso, you have the blink into like a Sonic Wave, that sort of thing. So it's going to be a really great ganking team, and it'll be good for getting pickoffs. Gyrocopter will probably be the main focus of EnemyGG. Either early game or once he grabs his BKB, they'll still just be able to slice through him fairly easily with a lot of that spell damage, peer damage, and that sort of thing. Void Boys, I like the Shadow Shaman pickup. It's a very strong support at the moment, double disable. I actually really like the lockdown that's coming out of Void Boys. Where EnemyGG, they have like one really hard stun, and of course Batrider after level 6, but you know, if Void Boys play this correctly, then hopefully Batrider won't be getting his Blink Dagger and level 6 all that early.
Yeah, the early 2 mid-game power for Void Boys is really strong. The number of disables is really risky. I definitely would not want to be a Death Prophet with EnemyGG. Let's see, so Void Boys, okay, so they're going to go with the Ursa. This is bold. Oh man, this is really bold. They have so many disables for this bear, man. He needs to get a BKB and pronto. Speaking of BKBs, our statsman Borno is looking for like some record-breaking BKB pickups. He's on the hunt. He's looking for some records to be broken here, and so let's see. Okay, so we got the what's really nice is the fact that, I mean, if they can grab somebody, pull him in with the Batrider for Ursa to just go ahead and just pound away. I mean, that's just an easy kill right there. It looks like it might be a core Venge as it's starting to go, and I really like how you mentioned in the beginning. You can't tell when you first pick a Venge. You really have no idea if it's going to be a core or if it's going to be a support, and the draft can really flow. The draft can really flow and adjust and be like, okay, we're going to do core first and we can adjust with that. That's really, really useful in this draft, and I think that might be, I mean, honestly, personally, I'm completely biased to a support Venge. I just think the Aghanim swap or the Aghanim's pickup is really good. Aether Lens is fantastic on her now. Her magic missile and the swap range, even level 2, is incredibly scary. If she picks up an Aether Lens and then you mouse over that, it is really scary how much initiation or at least chase that she can put out, and then a Blink Dagger or something. I mean, it's just, she can reach out from anywhere practically. So thinking they're going to pick up a second healer maybe here with a AA band, maybe an Alchemist.
I don't know how I feel about an Alchemist. They do need a mid laner. So I don't know how I feel about Alchemist. I don't think he's as strong as he used to be, but you know NA Dota a little bit better than me, but in the CIS scene, we never see Alchemist anymore. Ever since the slight nerf to how his scaling works. Oh, I like this pickup actually quite a bit. Viper is a very effective laner, and he is also really great against Ursa. He's pretty much considered a hard counter to him. The Viper Strike just slows him down. It allows for the rest of the team to counter him. So it's going to be really on EnemyGG, the Batrider, the Venge, to be able to pull kills into Ursa during team fights. As long as Viper is doing his job and is focusing on the Ursa to make sure that the rest of his team can continue to kite him. And that also means that Gyrocopter most likely will be going for like a Sanjin Yasha build because he needs that mobility to stay away from the Fury swipes. So I think I really like Void Boy's pickup, and EnemyGG opted to go for a Skywrath Mage, which I haven't seen a Skywrath Mage drafted in a really long time in professional Dota, so I'm really excited to see this.
He's done surprisingly really well in this tournament. I'm actually like shocked. In this meta of diving heroes and getting in your face and grabbing people, especially with this kind of lineup right here on Void Boys, he's done really well. The problem is they don't have a lot of lockdown to do anything with. They've got some really cool wombo combos, but they've got the wombo, but they don't have the combo to set it up. Their disables are really limited, and Batrider, essentially you can hold on to someone with the lasso, but then you're just a sitting duck. I just don't. The last two picks, BSJ, granted BSJ's Ursa is insane, but the amount of lockdown, it's almost like they have to 4-on-5 against a massive mid-game strat with a hellacious amount of push here. I think Void Boys just completely won this draft. I really do.
I feel like the draft is much more solid on Void Boys' side. Synergistically, meta-wise. However, I mean, you can't underestimate the power of an Ursa if he gets out of control. I think the biggest thing is it's going to come down to just locking him down and keeping him out of the fights. I mean, Shadow Shaman's easily going to be able to do that with his Hex and his Shackles. And on top of that, even after he gets his BKB, we're going to have probably the Viper Strike still affecting him fairly significantly. And on top of that, we also have Nature's Prophet. I mean, it's going to be a hard game for BSJ to be able to deal with this draft. But maybe it's more that he just secures Roshan, and he just lets Queen of Pain split push.
There goes a
I
tree.
really don't know, honestly. Void Boys are going to
Yeah,
Void Boys.
I really think Void Boys got this by about 25 minutes. I'm calling it right here. I normally don't call deadlocks. I usually like good Dota, but I think the draft is just absolutely strong. Not to mention 747, very strong in the Viper. Fly loves his Witch Doctor. Schwan, I haven't seen him on his Shammy, but Omega Poner and offlane oh man, yeah, they got spot. They big reveal here. They went good move by enemy though. They know they got revealed up top, so to avoid any flank action, just to switch it up, they went ahead and went bottom before the horn. So nice move on their part. And looks like everybody's going to get one rune each. And there's the horn for the first game of the playoffs for PDCup Americas in January. PDCup number 2. We're joined by Cygnus Casting and Borno on the stats. He wants to see some records broken today. He wants to see them now. I mean, this guy is on a quest. This guy's on a mission. He's hungry. So it's going to be a mid 747. Very appropriate jumbo jet looking hero right now. About as close as you can get. And who do you want to introduce? We didn't even have a chance here. Everybody's running around.
Yeah, I'd love to do the Void Boys while there's a little bit of harassment in the mid lane coming out over from the Skywrath. But so we have 747 on the Viper. On the Shadow Shaman, we have Swan. Or Schwan, I don't know how to say that. Omega Poner on the off-lane Nature's Prophet. We have Q172 playing the Gyrocopter, and then we have Fly playing the Witch Doctor. I really love these dual lane mids that we've seen kind of emerge out of this patch.
Yeah, it was weird. It kind of tapered off for a little bit. It became a one-on-one mid thing for a little bit, and 6.86 came out. Yeah, 6.86 came out. Wait, refresh my memory. I think it was like 6.8. I'm losing my mind here. I want to say 6.86 came out about this, pretty much December, right? That pretty much right about the beginning of this tournament last month, PDCup number 1. Or am I just completely retarded here? Yeah, it seems about right.
Also, just on a side note, just for people who are interested or like cosmetics, because as much as I love cool Dota, so this set that BSJ is wearing is worth about $110.
Seriously? You gotta be kidding me. Oh my god.
Oh, a piece.
Oh my, a piece? Oh my god. Alright, so I'll go and introduce enemies. So the bling cowboy. That kind of looks more like a kitty cowboy suit in the portrait. But okay, so Furhunt, Banana Slam Jam, one of his signature heroes on the Ursa. He's got his work cut out for him because he's got so much lockdown, so much kite to deal with. So he's going to be on the Ursa. Flying Zebra is going to be on one of his trademark heroes, the Skywrath Mage. Slayer, who broke he tied one of the records for most kills on a Bat Rider, tied for Van on E-Wolves. So we got two guys in this cup that actually have the most kills on a Bat Rider. Whoa, speaking of Bat Rider, a little bit of trouble down here. Sovereign's going to go ahead and get himself out of there. He's on the bat. He's okay. And finally, Frozen on the Venge. He's spending a lot of time on the Venge. Usually plays Oracle. Usually plays something a little more Healy. He'll be on the Venge, but he also plays that very well, too. Wow, I've never seen the net worth look like such a... it looks very 8-bit right now. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we're still pretty early in the game. Really, it's going to be focusing on like the CS and that sort of thing. Ursa's actually doing quite well, considering that the Nature's Prophet has kind of moved himself out of the off lane right now, giving BSJ a little bit of free farm. And then Queen of Pain's actually securing some last hits fairly easily. Oh, no, never mind. Fairly easily, of course, with her Scream of Pain, when she's opted to go for 1 in Blink and 2 in the Scream of Pain.
Oh man, there's a really keeping professional here. There's a blinking rhyme joke I can tell you after the cast, but I'm definitely not going to lose my career over it here. Just remind me later. Okay, so we're going for a little more on the right click action.
There's
Nether Toxin
a smoke on Flying Zebra and the Venge coming bottom.
Oh yep, smoke action, flank action on Fly. He's in deep trouble. It's not good. It's just a rough being a Witch Doctor in this tournament. That's going to be first blood going down for Fly. Unfortunately, yeah, Witch Doctors typically get bullied. So yep, there he goes, 1-0, 4 minutes in. Pretty easy kill for them. And enemy are on the board. Alright, so Q. I guess we'll just call him Q, huh? Q on the gyro, pretty much living the dream. One of his guys getting picked off, but otherwise they're leaving him alone.
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of pressure, but I mean, picking up the support's fairly significant. The early game kills and first blood is always great to get on your supports, gives you early boots. And actually, I'd just like to go over like the early game setup right now, just for each of the players. Slayer already has her bottle, which is kind of a decent timing on it, considering that she went for the Nully and carted herself out a healing salve.
Yep. Fortunately, because he's got the it's almost like 747 knows like the timing, just being a little extra aggressive because he's holding onto that Invis rune in there and not bottling up. So 747 is going to punish him for that and literally just hitting him over and over again with level 2 Nether Toxin. And he's just like, I want to use this Invis, but I'm getting beat up, and just holding on more and more, punishing so hard for it. And down Schwann's they're actually 3-man dive down bottom. Sovereign. We'll go ahead and pull everything back, and not going to go that deep. Not going to worry about that right now. But we've got 4 people committed. We got tree ants. We don't have serpents, but we got tree ants, and guess what? This tower probably going down about the 5.5-minute mark with no further resistance. That Void Boy's already getting to work with this draft. They are not going to give this Ursa any breathing room.
Yeah, they're playing extremely well. The Nature's Prophet hit level 5, has level 3 in his trance, and they saw an opportunity to be able to take this bottom tower, most likely because they do know that the Venge and the Skywrath are roaming and wouldn't be able to lend all that much support without an obvious teleport. So it now looks like we have another smoke coming out of the Venge and the Skywrath, and Fly just kind of hugging the tower, not in vision, so...
Yeah, very nice tuck back there. I mean, he's just there to help clean up the creeps and keep the tower from getting rocked freely. But at the same time, yeah, he's actually doing a lot better on the Radiant. Despite the pretty significant nerf to the Radiant jungle, he's actually doing quite well for himself. Including the fact that, well, I mean, you do get better roach positioning as well while you're going in and out of that lane. It's a little bit, it's actually a lot easier to smoke yourself in there. With less time to react. Oh, nice smoke's gonna big reveal by Fly right there. He's getting hammered on the tower. Here comes the cavalry. 747 pretty much trying to close the door on him, but man, he's getting hammered. BSJ is just charging. He's got phase boots, but guess what? Here comes the Kite Squad, and there he goes. And they're also going to lose Zebra under the tower. Pretty much the same spot he died, and Void Boys are on the board.
I really like that engagement. Fly actually plays. It just goes to show you how comfortable Fly is with Witch Doctor. He knows that Witch Doctor has the most amount of danger in lane when there's only one or two enemy creeps left, and so he waited
Mm-hmm.
until all the creeps were gone. He wasn't too concerned about, a little bit of damage going out onto the tower. He waited until BSJ was a little bit too far forward, used the cask, and that secured the kill. On top of that, Skywrath was not in a great position. He took a lot of siege damage from that tier 1 as well, and ended up falling because he was trapped by the Nature's Prophet, which honestly was maybe a little bit, just a little bit of an overextension by enemy. But Omega Poner still doing the thing with the Nature's Prophet and secures themselves another tier 1 tower.
They're doing a really good job of timing these trees. Oh man, going for the Roche at 7 minutes, but a nice timing on that too. They realize BSJ is nowhere in town, especially all pushing up the top tower. They will get the Roche, but they will realize, oh, Invis rune for Frozen. No swamp for him, but get some nice positioning. He's actually got 1 level in stats, and he's holding on to another attribute right now. Oh, he's going to put level 3 Wave of Terror, the armor reduction with BSJ coming in on you with 2 lives. Pretty damn scary. He's got phase boots, so he's not the easiest thing to kite in the world, but when their whole team's there, he's pretty much going to get shut down. But at the same time, they're doing a really good job timing with Omega Poner. No stranger to this Nature's Prophet. He's able to pretty much chain the number of treants he's doing. He's always got 2 waves. He's about to get a second wave on this 3rd tower right now. That top tower died in about 20 seconds, by the way, from full health.
I think the biggest problem is that enemy don't have a response to this super kind of hard pushing strategy. I mean, yeah, Gyro can farm, but he has so much net worth just based off of like tower gold and that sort of thing. I mean, what is really the response that enemy have in their draft for this? I mean, Queen of Pain was down during that the mid tier 1, and on top of that, like, what AoE does Skywrath have? He doesn't have level 6. He can't really do very much. Wave of Terror isn't going to help you all that much, and BSJ is very single target focused unless he opted to go for a Battle Fury, which I really don't think we're ever going to see.
Void Boys got themselves knocked out very quickly. I think the first game was 17 minutes and the second game was 25, or it was back. No, the first game was against Elite Wolves, who was using the same strategy against them. So they're basically thinking like, hey, let's do this ourselves, and let's see what enemy do. Let's see how they can do it. And honestly, they just let themselves get out drafted, because that was a first pick Nature's Prophet, by the way. I think it was. Oh, Serpent's in play now. Jeez, look at it go. Oh, look at it. Look at it fall. Look at it. Just look at it go down. So they 25 minutes and 17 minutes against Elite Wolves. They just got complete. That was their first 2 games of the tournament, and man, they just got thrashed. So they're doing the same thing to enemy right now.
Yeah, it also I should probably mention is that this very aggressive pushing strategy does reduce on the overall amount of XP that Void Boys are going to be earning. So you will see that enemy are kind of netting themselves a little bit of extra experience. But the biggest thing is as long as Void Boys continue to have this momentum, we're not going to see a blink come out on Ursa. We're not going to see any BKBs. We're not going to see a blink really coming out on the Batrider. Actually, let's take a look. Oh, he just got it.
Just got it. Yeah, it's a little late actually.
Actually fairly good. No, you know, it's not bad considering how his lane went. I mean, he was playing against a very aggressive lane. They lost both their tier 2s within 10 minutes, and there was some good economy coming out of the jungle. So it's good that at least that they've secured that. This could be really important for them.
Yeah, this is
trying to get a pick off with this blink in the lasso.
They're playing defense on an Ursa that has probably, 2 minutes and change left on his Aegis, so they really need to get some action going here. The main thing is they were waiting for their blink. Now that they have it, 2 minutes to go, and man, they really need to get something going here. They really, I mean, they can't afford to start losing tier 2s with an Aegis in hand. I mean, they've got to make a play somewhere. Yeah, first Roshan. At first I was like, oh hey, yeah, I was thinking I was a genius because I was like, oh hey, a first Roshan, that'd be a great side bet on the websites and stuff, and oh yeah, how about first Rax, first Tower and stuff, and then someone brought up the fact that the TI5 Compendium had literally about 2 to 3 dozen side bets that I had not even thought of, and I'm just thinking to myself, wow, so yeah, my two bets, huh? So how about those? Okay, never mind. Looking quite the fool. So 2,000 net worth. All the tier 1s down and just 1 tier 2. Momentum's slowing down a little bit for Void Boys. I think they're respecting the fact that enemy really want to make a move with that Really want to make a move with that Aegis in hand. It looks like they are smoking up. Here we go. BSJ wants to bait up in that top lane. It's like, come get me, boys. Let's go. I'm a cowboy. Let's rodeo. Yeah, they're gonna lock him down. First life going in. Here we go. Sonic Wave. There we go. It's like, I'm coming in for round 2. I'm still alive, guys. Here we go. 3 people down. Come on. I'm still in my first life. Let's do this. Where are you running? Why are you running? The Mystic Flare misses completely. Yeah, the Skywrath not quite doing as well as advertised. The draft, they don't have the lockdown for that kind of thing, but beautiful bait job by Enemy coming in the flank with a smoke gank, and BSJ will essentially get probably some free regen on this tower because that Aegis didn't even pop. Nice job.
That was an excellent execution of a team fight. Certainly the smoke helped them in that. Perfect Sonic Wave, actually, coming out of the Queen of Pain. Just goes to show that, you know, Slayer is very comfortable with the hero, and that was actually really what determined that team fight for them. On top of that, it looked like Void Boys were kind of taken by surprise. You could see the positioning of their heroes. They was a little bit erratic. They tried their best to turn it around, but yeah, it was 4 down. They were standing inside of a Firefly with napalm all over them. And it should be mentioned, I mean, the napalm turn rate reduction is incredibly good against Gyrocopter. He relies a lot on that turn radius.
I just realized people have been talking a lot about different combos you can do with the Savage Roar. One common one brought up was the Puck Dream Coil. Yeah, the sticky napalm, I mean, when you have to turn around, it takes like 2 seconds plus to turn around. Why not just go ahead and throw some napalm on that and give yourself like even more time? It's just like, oh god, we can't run or turn or do anything. But they're going to go ahead, since a lot of ults are now down and the Aegis has expired, they're just like, okay, we're just going to double down, take this T2 mid, and get some more gold. The gold is essentially evened out. But like you were saying, experience definitely in their favor, about 5,000. That's several levels. A good chunk of them being in hand of the Queen and the Ursa. Up top, Omega Poner. Gonna go ahead. Yeah, the drum is, this really irks Cornman, by the way. It really gets his coat. Getting the drum early, it helps push up the towers, helps push up the treants as well, the extra attack speed, and burning the charges pretty much as quickly as you can on the tower. And now he's going for the Orchid. But, I mean, that's essentially the use of the early game drum. Corn it's just a pet peeve for him.
I really like drum on the offlane on the tree because essentially it's stats that he really desperately needs, gives him a little bit of extra regen and tank. But the movement speed on the treants is also pretty important when they want to go for a super fast pushing strategy like this. It also synergizes well with the team. I know that we see second drum coming out on the gyro, but once again, you know, Void Boys are going all in with this very aggressive early game, take all the towers, secure the gold, secure objectives sort of strategy. The real problem is that now, because of this XP advantage that we see on Enemy, this could be a big turning point for them, and we're going to see that right now in this next
Here we go. Here comes a hockey game breaking out. Oh my god, Sovereign, or 747 didn't even have a chance to pop his mech. Mystic Flare comes out. BSJ is going to walk his way back to the tower. They've already lost 2 on Void Boys, but 2 on Enemy are also down. There we go. There's 2. Q goes down. Slayer going to go ahead and blink himself away after taking an Ether Shock, but he's down. That's going to be a complete team wipe for Enemy. I mean, Void Boys were ready for it. They knew it was coming. They tucked themselves away. Essentially, so much got dunked on 747. He was bursted down. Could not mech. It's still up, but the damage still too much. They were pretty much completely prepared for that assault. They were tucked in the right position. Nobody was really caught out. They put all their damage on the main tank. Oh, nice one. That's a good one. So they took some heavy casualties, but they definitely pulled themselves ahead, and this probably get this down to about half before the cleanup crew arrives. All in all, still Void Boys in control. The Enemy, they still got something out of it, but man, yeah, the gold swing going a little bit more than before when they got flanked up top. So 8 to 8, but man, towers are down. All the luxury towers that they can afford to give to Void Boys are gone. Now it's time to just fight. You got nothing left to give. 747 back up and immediately on Slayer. I was kind of surprised that Slayer didn't take the bat too. He had a really good run with that. He's halfway to Aghanims. We're going Aghanims instead of the Orchid. We've got an Orchid on the Nature's Prophet done, ready to go. And BSJ is just going to take the lane. Looks like a BKB for him. Definitely going to need it. Good pickup. Looks like it's coming at a pretty reasonable time too.
Nature's Prophet, Orchid, market in this case is extremely, like, it is a key item. There's so many Blinkination. Oh, never mind.
Uh-oh, here we go. Call down coming down. Slayer just getting blown up. BSJ pretty much shrugging it off with that enrage, but guess what? It's down, and the chain gun just pounding away. Ether Shock, and as he runs, he gets sprouted. Yep, they have so much lockdown for this guy. They're going to trade Q for it, but a great trade. Frozen also going down. That's beautiful trade-off right there. They just caught him napping. And again, the Mystic Flare is just not effective enough. They don't have the lockdown. They just can't do what they want to do. He picks up a Veil, but they just don't have the lockdown to really make that effective. High Ground Zeus with a Veil has done really, really, really well in this tournament. For example, Faceless Void doing, or put it this way, I'll bring that up later. But we got some more action breaking out. 747 getting pushed, and down goes that tower. Sovereign coming in. Lasso is actually on cooldown, so there's not much they can do without pretty much their main damage source being dead. And that's going to be a set of Rex.
They still have a mech pulse as well coming out of the Viper.
Yeah,
they
do.
Have a lot of sustain here.
Yeah, they do. And more Treants coming out. Serpent's still alive and healthy. Plenty of time. Those Serpents still have plenty of time left on them. They're coming in. Sovereign going to get turned into a chicken. Roasted chicken at that. Fly's going to sacrifice himself. Look at all the space he's creating. They're all chasing him, and everybody else gets to scatter. Oh, they caught one, though. They'll catch a Mega Poner. Fairly tanky Nature's Prophet, all things considered. Could have gone worse, but it could have gone a hell of a lot better. Melee Rex will survive, but the door's slowly closing in on enemy. 11 to 11 really does not tell the tale of this story. 1,600 people watching on as pretty much what we were expecting. I was calling about a 25-minute game. About what were you thinking back in your mind? Maybe like 30, 35 minutes, or were you thinking about the same time?
No, I don't call games before they're done. I mean, I'll just take my
down. Flying Zebra again, the first one to go down this time instead of the last. Frozen will go next. BSJ desperately trying to finish that Roshan, just get out of dodge and use it for a later fight, but nope, he's not going to make it. He'll get the Aegis, but he's not going to get out of there. Hopefully he can blink after the fact, but I think they got enough ways to hold him down. Can he get a rocket barrage or something? Yeah, hopefully something to stop the blink. No, he'll make it. Nice play. But unfortunately, the damage is just they're people losing people left and right here. 20 minutes in, and hey, here comes more cavalry up top, with a catapult and everything. But it looks like Slayer will at least perform a little cleanup. But yep, I'm still thinking. I mean, unless a GG, they'll make it longer than 25 minutes unless they just straight call GG. BSJ is getting still very close to his BKB. It'll keep him in this game, but he's still so close, but also so far away.
All right, so here's the next team fight. The
yep.
route.
Go ahead. There's a
Good
big old
swap into a couple. Oh, there's a Mystic Flare. Sonic Wave doesn't actually make any contact onto the Veil is still up. Meanwhile, Fly gonna get the call down, or with the Death Ward, sorry. But it's kind of more of a zoning call down, and looks like they're just gonna reset, which is actually really good for Enemy. They need to try to wrestle back a little bit of this momentum. That Roshan was really important actually for BSJ. He needed to keep the Roshan. Like, he needed to keep the Aegis, but he ended up losing it. So really all you end up netting is a little bit of extra experience and a little bit of gold for your team, and they don't get the ability to, you know, have the Viper Strike used on the Ursa, him go down, and then have his mobility back up for the rest of the battle, so...
Yep.
Also, I'm not used to doing play-by-play. Next time, just take over, please.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
But, I like just analyzing.
Oh, no problem at all. So the Aegis, or not the Aegis, the Aggie Scepter done for Slayer. So we only need about 1,000 more gold for that BKB. It's coming. It is coming. BSJ, fortunately, like you said, with that experience coming from Roche, he's staying competitive. I mean, he's still 2 levels over his nearest competitor. And speaking of that, looks like they're just doing some patrolling here. They're just trying to find something while they take back their jungle. Little D-ward action there. BSJ still climbing back. Frozen. So we do have a level 2 swap. We have 4 wards on the way out, and he is building that Aether Lens, which will give him, by the time he gets his swap, I mean, 200 more range on this is really cool. Really, really cool. He does have the level 3 Vengeance Aura, some good armor reduction. They have the tools to turn this around. They just don't really have anything to deal with that push action. But since they don't, I mean, essentially their backs are to the wall, the Void Boys, with their early push strat. have really nothing more to gain from it unless they can just keep doing sneaky stuff and pulling him away and baiting and all kinds of stuff like that. And aside from that, I don't really see... I mean, Enemy, if they just keep playing good 5-man up on their tier 3s, they really stand a good chance to come back from this.
Very nice. So our good stats man here says that Omega Poner is one of the top 10 Orchid. He just earned one of the fastest Orchids in professional play.
All right, so... And
I'm assuming it was going to be its number 10, but Borna will have to let us know. Ninth fastest Orchid in pro play. That's really good.
Gotcha. Oh, was that in... Oh, that was in... I was like, how do you... Okay, that was TeamSpeak. Gotcha. So now with some time, a little bit more respect given to him now. They're kind of letting up a little bit because, you know, when you're doing the split push stuff, you're really sticking your neck out there against a 5-man enemy who does have the ability to really punish you. I mean, we've got Blink, Lasso, Force Staff. We've got a lot of jump. We've got a ton of jump on Enemy. I mean, if you get anywhere near their tier 2s or further or closer to their base, yeah, they're going to jump you. So that's going to give Banana the room to farm to finish BKB, which looks like it's on the way. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
and so
the big items that are going to be coming out is going to be the BKB on BSJ, but don't forget that Q is also going to be picking up his BKB shortly. He's fairly close. We also have a Force Staff. Just blinking around, Queen of Pain there. We also have a Force Staff on Swan, along with a Blink Dagger. He's going to be opting for the Aghanim Scepter, most likely, or potentially an Octarine Core. He has a casual point booster at the moment. And on a side note, I really like the Sanjin Yasha on the Viper. If people, just so that you still get the MAME, and we've seen the Viper kind of like doing his orb attack fairly disciplined. He doesn't just, you know, keep it on.
Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I mean, the move speed, you get phase boots, you're getting pretty close to haste at that point. I mean, you get more tank. Absolutely nothing wrong. The amount of magical damage coming out from Enemy that is blocked by BKB isn't really that great. So there's no real point in getting a BKB on this team. The Veil does hurt. That Veil is actually pretty damn effective. He's already got a natural resistance right there, so yeah, it's a good pickup. By the way, I'd just like to point out...
the Gyrocopter picked up the BKB now, so this is when they probably want to fight. Fresh BKB, the Dire don't know that they are there, and actually they're completely not in position at the moment.
Yeah,
really to be able to respond. Oh, no, never mind, they're there.
They do have a high ground ward revealing everybody that just came in before they came to the lane. Looks like they're going to rotate. Because of the fact that... Okay, Flying Zebra will come up as well. I was going to say maybe use him to push, but that Veil, the Veil that he has in hand is a major game changer up on high ground. It's going to help him so much. Mainly with the Wave of Terror. The Sonic Wave is going to do more. Oh, here we go. Ooh, Frozen wants to swap somebody. That's really risky. I mean, being level 11 and swapping right into their team. This really needs to be more of a follow-up in this situation. I mean, Sovereign needs to be the guy. Definitely use Sovereign and not Frozen first. But, yeah, another Aether Lens is in the works, too, it looks like. We've got the energy booster. Okay, they're driving him out. They're going to respect this. They're just going to hightail it out of here. Wow, nice defense by Enemy. No ground gained. And essentially, Enemy are going to... The fact that they're technically behind... The fact that they're evening it out, that gives them even more. Just a side note, I'd just like to pull out, BSJ was going to crack 10k first, but then Omega Poner just slipped by with one more creep and beat him to it by maybe 10 seconds. So the Aghanim's down on Slayer. I guess a BKB for him. Whoop. Meanwhile, Frozen. What happened? What happened there? He died over here. What happened here? He died over by the high ground where all of... Oh, okay, never mind. Okay. I am literally retarded. Okay. It was all of Void Boys that picked him off. He just got solo picked off. That's sorry. Meanwhile, I'm thinking, his whole team's there. How could... That's the wrong team, you idiot.
Alright, so another Necro book, and it's only Necro 1, I believe, at the moment.
Yep.
So.
Oh, Schwan getting picked, but that's not really the guy you want. He's already dropped his Serpents. But here we go. We're going to go for it anyway. We got the mech committed. BSJ coming in, but already he's going to lose his first. Oh, no. Popsy and Rage. He's going to take it a little longer as he's going to try to kite his way out. Nope, not going to happen. Not with this team. Locking you down. It's a 2-for-2 trade. but unfortunately it supports for one core, one support, and they've got the bottom racks. They've essentially finished their job, but they're just going to try and get a little taste of this tier 3 tower and get their way out of here. Maybe just use the tree ants on their way out. Yeah, they might be able to. I don't think they'll finish it, but just get a little piece of the tower on their way out. But nice job. They're going to force a buyback, which seemed kind of unnecessary given the maneuvers that Void Boys were pulling. Or maybe
completely worth it for Void Boys to force out the buyback, and they respected the buyback, and that's why they pulled back.
Oh, it must have been sooner than I was looking at there.
Yeah, so essentially the melee racks was probably pretty much a write-off at that point. They wanted to go for a second set, and that was when the buyback came out.
Okay, so it was earlier than I thought. Thank you. All right, so BKB done. All the drum charges are down on both the Void Boy team, but at this point it doesn't really matter. Just a nice thing to have at this point. We have a... Ooh, Fly's getting a nag to him. So, wow, he only needs about 1,000 more golden change. Schwan feeling pretty good. Blink and Force Stab, even though he got caught. He's still pretty much living a good life here. We've even got the Alpha Wolf for extra damage. Third Roche before 30 minutes with the cheese. Oh no, they caught him. They caught Schwan again. No Serpents. He doesn't even have them. They're on cooldown. Finally gets a good Mystic Flare off, but we're gonna return fire with that call down. And they're gonna retreat up to high ground. Zebra's in trouble. One coconut is gonna be enough to buy time for a second rocket barrage, and down you go, buddy. And that's going to be a 1-for-1 trade on supports. 747 in a little bit of trouble here, but guess what? Enrage is down. BSJ has nowhere to go. And unfortunately, Force Staff up will not save you. And even more coming to dogpile on him. Oh man, this is just the wrong game to be in Ursa. That's for sure.
They didn't ban Viper. That was the biggest problem. They could have banned Viper from this. He's one of the strongest counters to Ursa. They opted to draft an Ursa for BSJ, and they didn't ban the Viper. That was the biggest problem. Viper is very strong in this meta. He's been picked up a lot.
And one of 747's main guys too. Seen him played a lot in mid, safe, off lane, what have you. He'll go anywhere with it. All right, bottom rack's going down. Slayer in trouble. Looks like he's gonna lock down. He'll get Force Staffed away by somebody. Frozen gonna die in amidst the call down there. 3 going down. And that's pretty much going to be the GG called right there. They have nothing else to offer, and there's nothing to stop them. GG called at 29 minutes. Nice play by Void Boys. About 4.5 minutes after my prediction. But all the same, that's going to be game 1 going to them. So we got a best of 3, guys. This is no longer a 2-game series. Best of 3, and it's single elimination. And someone's going home today. So final thoughts, Cygnus? Any final thoughts on this match?
No, I'll do it during the draft for the next one.
Okay, cool. All right, guys, so more Dota coming your way. Just a quick shout out to our sponsors, Ghost of Gamers, Eve Battle, Dota 2 Lounge, and Azubu. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next time. Or we'll see you actually in a few minutes. Stay tuned.